Hey, this is Lucia aka Živa, creator and host of Serial Music Talks podcast. Each month I sit down with musicians, music producers, and sound designers based in Melbourne to talk about the real challenges we face in the industry, whether it's breaking into new markets, battling imposter syndrome, overcoming writer's block, or just navigating the cruel world of social media. I approach these conversations as an artist myself, and like most of us, I'm also just trying to figure it all out on the go. A new episode drops every last Tuesday of the month, so if you want to stay connected, you can subscribe to my newsletter via Substack. Just find the link somewhere below, above. So how you been? Tired?
I've been tired. I've just been working a lot and getting ready for South by Southwest. I really want to showcase some new songs. After the Max Watt show, I was like, wow, this it's actually one of the biggest stages I've ever played, and it gave me some ideas of what I could do with a sound system that big.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It made me think
I always thought that, if you're playing a big show like South by Southwest, you would maintain the same set list, that you're familiar with, rather than going into the unknown.
I'm not like that. I think sometimes I look at lineups and I listen to artists on it and I get inspired actually. I like, oh, that's cool. I wonder what would happen if I write something like that.
Oh, okay.
It sounds a bit weird like that, but it's I just keep getting inspiration from who I play with, It's because sometimes I don't know, I just feed off interpersonal energy,
Because I noticed, from everything that you share on social media, and we'll get to that as well. You often say listen to this metal/Deftones type of song that I wrote, or listen to this Tyler, the Creator type of a song that I wrote.
Yeah.
And I always wonder, okay, so what is the approach? Do you have the idea, this is the type of a genre that I want to now create?
I think I just go on Spotify and I go on my radio, and when I'm at work or driving to work or in my free time, and I just listen to songs and I save them. And then when I get home after work, I'll try and reverse engineer them. It sounds weird, but people do that all the time, I'll go and use that as a reference track, and then I'll put my own take on it, you know what I mean? But generally, what I'm doing for South by Southwest is to have a more consistent sound. But that's kind of how I learn music and, learn how to produce and write music.
So do you have any formal education?
No.
Okay. But when you say more consistent sound, does that mean genre-wise?
Yeah, genre-wise.
Something that's recognizable, this is Kaiko.
Yeah.
And you don't think you have that right now?
I think I do in a way, but I'm really trying to hone in on who I really am and what I really want to sound like, and yeah.
But I guess it makes sense because you've been investigating and experimenting, and now you're okay, I've tried this. This is sort of who I am.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way that you can do it.
Yeah.
Rather than being immediate, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Without even giving a chance to other stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a very millennial way of doing things. Don't commit to anything yet until. You know what I mean? My life has always been kind of a journey of finding what I liked and what I wanted to sound like, because I grew up with in Singapore, and the scene's really small, so my friends were playing hardcore bands and my friends were playing dance and disco bands, and then my cousin's a DJ, and then so I had all these things coming at me at once, and it was hard to pick a project.
So okay, let's go to that.
Yeah.
When did you begin to do music?
I started music when I was 14.
Okay.
I think my dad just gave me a guitar from church because he wanted me to play for the worship band, but I didn't know how to fucking play music.
Wow.
The worship leader, his name is Thomas. Shout out Thomas from Singapore. I'm still really good friends with him. He was my worship leader. He's around my age, and he was a metal guitarist.
Can you just give me a little bit of background on what worship leader? So it's not a specific religion, or
It was a Christian Methodist church.
Okay.
It was a Christian Methodist church, and my dad wanted to join the worship team.
So you got the guitar, and you were supposed to play in church, but
Yeah. So I went to my friend who was a worship Thomas, and we were trying to learn like, Hillsong, all those like mega church songs. I don't go to church anymore, whatever. So, and like it was going well for like the first hour, but I was like, hey, Thomas, I really want to learn how to play People's Equal Shit by Slipknot. And so
you were already in metal.
Yeah, and he would detune the acoustic guitar to drop A for me, or drop B, and then we'll play People's Equal Shit by Slipknot.
Wow, okay. Sick.
Yeah, so that was my first musical experience, like at 14. And like I'm sure a lot of musicians had music in life earlier, but my family liked music, but we weren't really like, wasn't something that was encouraged.
And it was accessible. Look, I don't know much about, growing up in Singapore, but you could access all sorts of music.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's some bands that the government censored, but like...
Like what?
Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn.
I found a Marilyn Manson CD like soon after that. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, well, as soon as it was censored.
Yeah. And like, so, I mean, very lucky I grew up in Singapore, like a first world country with, a lot of contact with the rest of the world, you know what I mean? Obviously it's still kind of like really authoritarian. So, I mean, I think that's what I like about Singapore. They know they're authoritarian. They know what they are. They don't try to hide it.
So, and you mentioned that the scene is small in Singapore.
Yeah, it's very small.
And it's, is it, I guess, because I've been to Singapore and I've been to some of the gigs there. I was supposed to play there a couple of times. So I know something about the Singapore scene. But everything that came to me is like hardcore.
Yeah.
Is it really just hardcore? You mentioned
it's mostly hardcore.
Okay.
But like there was some. It's either like you play in a hardcore band, or you grow up long enough and stay around long enough to start an indie band. So very much my upbringing was hardcore. I think I feel like we're not Singaporeans. We're not a very musical culture. You compare it to the Philippines or even Indonesia, like we like working in offices and making money, which is kind of what I was raised to do, like just be an office drone. I'm good at it.
Okay.
I'm good at it, man. Like this is just this is the real me, but like, you see me in the office, man, I'm locked in.
Oh, really?
I'm on the Excel sheet filling out algorithms. The calculations,
For Spotify? No.
Oh,
For your social media ads?
Oh yes, and
TikTok?
also yes, actually, we do have Excel spreadsheets for. Anyway, that's later on. You can ask about it later on.
I have those questions.
Yeah.
I'll get to those.
So a lot
sort of. It's like my questions in advance because you are answering them. What did you want to say? Like.
Oh well, so yeah, a lot of the music I grew up with in Singapore was hardcore and metal. Yeah, it was just an easy way for like kids to get involved in music and not really have any talent. Sorry.
I had a really random experience in Singapore.
Yeah.
I was there it was like a layover, but then something was canceled. Long story short, I was there for a few days. And then one night, me and two other girlfriends, we went into this bar and, we drank the most expensive beer ever. That was still while I was in Croatia, where you can drink for like $2, right? And we paid $28 for one beer. And at one stage, karaoke starts, and they're like, "Hey, go and sing one song," and I'm like, why? They're like, "Come on, let's have fun." And I start singing this song, and the owner of the bar does a lock-in. He locks in the bar, and we get drunk and drink in the bar all the way until 6 a.m.
What?
And it was the best night ever.
Was this home club?
I don't remember the name of the venue, where it was.
Sounds like home club.
So drunk. It was like me, two of my friends, and another 5 people, including the owner.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, That's kind of what I miss about.
Love it.
That's kind of what I miss about it. Like, I guess people have time for each other. You know, it's just a small scene.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I guess like in Melbourne, like I mean, we still do that stuff in Melbourne, but like it's like not as personal. You know, like I don't really get to rub shoulders or like get to know people that much when in a busy city like Melbourne. You know.
But why did you move to Melbourne?
Well, funny you say that because well, I grew up in Singapore and I wasn't really good at anything really, and I failed high school. I actually fully flunked my O levels. So in Singapore, we use the British system with our own kind of like take to it. So I failed my O levels, and if you fail your O levels, you can't really do anything in Singapore, basically. So I kind of kicked around for like 3 years.
What was the reason?
That I failed my O levels?
Yeah.
Because I was playing in like punk bands. I was just like, you know, like I don't know. I was just really distracted and I wasn't really invested in what I was studying. I mean, they were teaching me to memorize things, but they weren't really teaching me to be critical, and that really bothers me. I like being given the skills to think and construct my own reality, which happens a lot in Australia, which is also quite daunting because I was taught to memorize things, but now I was taught to memorize and regurgitate things, and then now I have to literally make everything up on the spot, which is good, which is what I wanted, but like, you know, it's like very it challenges me in a good way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a completely opposite. It's like a completely different mindset.
And I think my mom saw that I wasn't really in a good spot, and she was like, I don't have a lot of money, but I have just amount of money, and do you want to go to Australia? Because like you are doing fucking nothing with your life. I was actually getting quite a lot of trouble. Like I was like, do you know what essays are?
Yes.
So I used to hang out with like the essays of Singapore, or we call them like Abings.
Okay.
Used to hang out with like some pretty like bad people, and like I was getting a lot of trouble. Like nothing, like they got in trouble with the police, but like I didn't. And like she was just like, yeah, like you're gonna fuck up your life. And I can tell like you like, because we've been to Australia like, you know, on holidays, and yeah, I mean, she was like, yeah, you're gonna have to like pay your rent and stuff, but you know, I'll pay for your degree. And yeah, that's what happened. I came here.
So you came through the
Student visa route. Yeah.
like a student.
Yeah.
Okay. And how old were you then?
It's 22.
Okay.
10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn. Yeah.
Wow. But you're a citizen now.
That's right.
Hey, woohoo.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
You know, last time we had that drinks over in Norcod, it was after lockdown. You know, you were.
I was very stressed.
Yeah.
I was very stressed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it takes a toll. I got my PR this year, at the beginning of this year, and it's just like so much bureaucracy, so much, I don't know, just this sense of like you're not knowing if this is where you can stay.
Well, it was fine for me in my early 20s because I was just partying. But we got to my later 20s, which is kind of when I got my PR, I really wanted to think about what kind of future I wanted to have for myself. And, you know, like it was hard to plan that. And because it's something that I feel like is quite natural when you get to the age. You want to plan for like what you want to do, what you want to work, what job field you want to work in, what kind of thing you want to work in. And like, because the visa wasn't sorted, like I couldn't plan, and that really like set me off because I like planning. Like, funny enough, I like planning.
I don't know, I'm not that surprised.
Yeah.
You might seem like you're, you know, like crazy.
I am crazy. Yeah.
Not in a bad way, more like you know, you're just like very direct, very open, loud, and people can categorize that as crazy because it's not like the, you know, mediocre.
Yeah.
But you know, from what you've been doing, on what I can see on socials and with your music, it seems like, you know, there's a plan, there's a strategy.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a strategy.
Definitely a strategy.
There's definitely a strategy, and
what's the strategy? Maybe let's start with this. What's the goal?
I think the goal is
ultimate goal.
I think the ultimate goal is to, it's gonna sound super tech bro with me, but like, you know, like just develop sources of passive income. You know, it's
Okay.
yeah, because like obviously like and this transcends music, you know, because like obviously Spotify isn't, you know, paying us a lot. So I have friends, and the good thing about Singapore is that we've got a lot of influencers who are rich, and they always make TikToks. So I've got a lot of friends who are influencers back in Singapore, and like they share with me like what they make off YouTube. What they don't make stuff off Spotify, maybe like donations live and stuff. Sorry, TikTok, they don't really.
Yeah.
The creator program isn't there, but like a lot of my friends are YouTubers. And
It's like TikTok is a way for them to like be, hey, I exist, and then you go on YouTube, and that's where you get.
So TikTok is the funnel.
Yeah.
And YouTube pays a lot. Like I'm not sure how much it is per view, but like I remember my friend like shared me a screenshot. It was like $800 payout monthly. $800. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. But how much time does she
I don't. Yeah.
invest? Do they have that calculation?
I think like the algorithm is different now, but back in my day, which is like 10 years ago, it was brutal.
Yeah.
Like they made like 120 videos and they could monetize, you know. And now to join a YouTube partner program, it's like 1,000 subscribers. Yeah.
Okay, so I have many questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing, ultimate goal is to get, you know, does that mean that you want to live from music? Or from
From creativity.
okay.
From creativity.
So generally from creating content and music.
Yeah, music's one facet of that, I
Okay.
feel, you know, and it's something that I'm familiar with, so I decided to go with that. And obviously that led me to like making videos, you know, in my bedroom, which is videography and vlogging, do you know what I mean? So I do like really enjoy making music, and I mean, I wish if that could be the main source for sure, but like it looks really hard for like emerging artists these days, you know, because I've been doing music for a long while, but Kai Kao's only been for like 5 years, and the landscape has changed so much since then.
Why do you think it's hard? What is the...
I think now everything is based on algorithm, and if you want to naturally and organically engage with human beings, you got to put on shows in real life, right? Which costs a lot of money now.
Yeah.
And it's like, it used to be pay to play, but now it's even more pay to play, you know what I mean? And I'm a bit disappointed by that. But that, in a way, gives me more ideas about how, because, how do I say this? Like, well, if physical spaces are declining, which I don't want to happen, but, you know, it is happening, and we're all moving online, I still can find ways to communicate to people, you know, and like TikToks and like Instagram content helps. And obviously like from an artist standpoint, that's not really ideal, you know, but then I started looking at like things like a YouTuber, like, you know what I mean? And it sounds bad, but like,
Look, I don't think it's a matter of like, does it sound bad? It's more like, my question to you is like, does it make you happy?
yeah.
Okay, well, that, you know.
Yeah, I really like making content, and I like talking to the camera.
That's then great, because my next question would be, you know, okay, maybe we can do it like this. Tell me your screen time. Let's just
All right.
screen time,
All right.
because
So,
I think I literally message you and you respond like
yeah.
minute.
So this week, I mean, I've worked like 20 hours this week, 4 hours daily this week. Last week it was 7 hours.
Daily.
Yeah, average.
Whoa.
So straight when I get like, honestly, like when I'm on lunch break and whatever, I just like.
And you have like all push notifications on. It's like.
No. Some I have it off, but I just check it anyway. But then like I try to reduce it by like scheduling my TikToks and content. But then I still check it. So like I can't get off it.
Like, does it ever drain you?
Yeah, it does. Actually, like I'm glad you called me out today, because like it's my day off and I would have just spent it.
We can just spend and talking about in real life.
Yeah, I mean like I'm glad, because like yeah, I would have spent it on my phone. And like I this week I specifically like didn't want to make content because it's been tiring. Do you know what I mean? But then I'm on my phone anyway, so I'm just like, so I'm starting to like. So I've been sketching my TikToks through TikTok Studio and Instagram Reels. So I've been blocking my TikTok app and only allowing the TikTok Studio app. So
is that the 1 sec app or no?
No. It's so TikTok Studio is it's app block on. But so I've been this week been cutting down my time. But like this morning I woke up, I was like, oh fuck, it's my day off, and I literally I think I woke up at like 7, and I scrolled in bed until like 9:30. Then I went up and made some eggs and drove to Fitzroy.
Do you think, because I feel like, from everything that I can see from your videos, just this morning, I was checking your Instagram. I'm not like I have an account on TikTok, and I sort of just like reshare something that I create for Reels, but I'm actually not there at all. I get really overwhelmed with like.
It is overwhelming.
It's like, I really don't like when there's no quiet. You know what I mean? Like it's just videos going on. I just want a moment of peace. And then I can decide.
I'm starting to realize that now.
Yeah, okay.
I think my tolerance is a lot higher because I've always had a computer addiction, but anyway, go on, yeah.
No. But what I was saying is, like, how do you have the time to do, yes, okay, let's go back. I forgot. So what I wanted to say is that I saw your story on Instagram saying, oh, I haven't been playing music for 2 months, but now, like,
Sorry, man.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So you've been playing, so I saw on your Instagram story that you haven't been playing shows for 2 months, but
3 months, yeah.
3 months, but you're now back with like a catalog of like 7 songs, 5 minutes of new music.
Yeah.
So what's the ratio between you creating content and music?
Also for content, I've got content days. So
okay.
Sundays are my content days.
So here's the strategy.
Yeah. So Sundays is content days, and I just batch film for the week. And it takes like 2-3 hours. And I usually do that like when I do my meal prep. It's also, so sometimes some defrosting shit, or like it's making a soup or like whatever, So Sundays are like I batch film them, and then I schedule right after that. And then for music, it's every day. And music can be replaced with anything. Like if I want to make like a YouTube video. You know what I mean? But like, so like I said, like when I'm like in the car in transit to places, I'll listen to songs and I save them. And then I'll put these songs into my DAW and I'll try and reverse engineer them. And like, maybe I'll grab the synth sound or the song structure or like the drum sound. And I'll just start learning. I'll make my own version of that song. You know what I mean?
Okay, I still have a few more questions about the social media.
Oh yeah,
about
for sure.
The hustle. But no, I think when I was talking with some other people, I was like, I always mention you as a really good example of someone who's like very driven.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Insanely driven.
Yeah.
And I always wonder, where's that drive coming from? And you and I had few conversations. You were the only person on the music scene with whom I had really sincere conversations about the tall puppy syndrome, about, like pushing and going for it and like not being, I guess, ashamed of that you're putting effort and you're afraid to lose. And one of the things that I've noticed, for example, when you were putting that show at Max Watts, you were all in. It's like all in.
Yeah, I was all in.
I feel like when I'm seeing some other shows happening across Melbourne, it's like one step there, one step it's outside.
Yeah, I know.
So what do you think? Do you think that you stand out?
Well, I feel like, well, I never really had opportunities like that in Singapore. I mean, like I was, the scene is really suffering right now. I mean, every music scene is suffering right now, but in Singapore, like, it's always been a bit suppressed. And, I remember like my first international support, I don't know who, maybe it was Little Lotus in Melbourne, but like, that was huge for me. Because I never thought like I would support anyone. Like we just play to each other, like we just play hardcore shows in like I think there used to be a Chinese ceremonial hall we used to have black metal shows in, and I used to go, and it wasn't treated. So like, you know how black metal, like it sounds shit. So like all I heard was
Oh my goodness.
but then like for some reason like I had like whiplash after that show. I just hit bang. I don't know why. It was just like it was like this black metal show in this Chinese ceremonial hall, and like sound was just bouncing everywhere because it was a fucking hall. And then like,
Oh my goodness.
it was the hardest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. That to me was like hard.
It's good that you don't have tinnitus, you know? Like,
Oh, I actually have like, so my previous housemate, because in my previous share house, like the TV room was like at the end of the house and the bedroom's at the other end.
okay.
And it was like, one's like long hallway in Melbourne
Yeah.
share houses, like, and like, so I was just watching TV and he was working from home. And he was like, can you turn it down? I was like, dude, I can't hear this TV. And I was right in front of the TV.
Okay, maybe, have
But-
you ever got your ears checked?
I am going to, because I realized, like, I mean, like, even when you were testing my mic, I was clipping the mic. I have to speak louder because my hearing is fucked.
Well, it's good if you don't have any buzzing, you know?
No, I don't have any buzzing,
But, you know, it's still early enough to just
yeah.
whatever.
I do wear hearing protection now, but
Because, you do. Because I also haven't, so I've changed that since I moved to Melbourne. Because
Yeah.
back in Croatia, we would, you know, have our rehearsal. And I had, at one stage, we had like 2 drums.
Yeah.
I would stand in between those 2 drums, and it's just like a concrete room, like an X Factory. And, you know, the cymbals and everything. I've never, ever, and I played music for 13 years, never wore any ear protection
Yeah, yeah.
whatsoever.
Never.
And then never. And then I moved here, and the first person I met was my now really close friend of mine, Vlad. He's a drummer, and he
Yeah.
had to stop playing drums because of tinnitus.
Yeah.
And at that point, I went, booked in an audio, whatever, and now I wear protection. I was even, you know, organizing live shows. I've never wore protection.
Well, that's what I like about Australia. I guess people have more time to take care of their health here.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
we like I didn't like,
No.
you know.
You don't
like
care.
my mom like worked from like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And I went to school from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m.
But do you think that translated then, you
Yeah.
know, that hustle, that sort of,
Yeah.
I guess the question, let's be real, I'm like
Yeah.
beating around the bushes, like, do you think as a migrant there is a difference between how you approach
Yeah.
things?
Yeah.
Here.
I feel like I don't really take opportunities for granted here. Like when I get it, I'm like, this actually I've never, like when Steph from X Watts approached me to put on a show, I was like, no one's ever asked me to do something like this before. Yeah, fuck yeah. And like, yeah, you know, I come from just a very small scene, and like, you know, like even when like international bands come down to Singapore, like Live Nation books them, and then they don't book any local supports. So, you know what I mean? Like, so we don't get to like interact with like the Western music industry that often, even though they come to our country. It's fucking weird. So like, yeah, I don't like taking opportunities for granted, and like when I like being very precise and, you know, laser focused with like my task. So like if the task is to get payers into Max Watts, and whatever I do in my day-to-day, you know, content strategy has to lead to that outcome. Do you know what I mean? And because also if it's not that, then I'm just wasting my time online, right? I might as well just like scroll on reels and like comment like laugh emoji, flame emoji. Do you know what I mean?
Heard. No,
Yeah.
I agree. I think, you know, what really interests me, you know, because honestly, like I struggle, especially lately. I'm like, I read that book from Liz Pelly, Mood Machine, about Spotify, and like been really going through a lot of research that has been done around Spotify, and it's like, you know, creating this meaningless.
It is meaningless.
Yeah, meaningless. And then, you know, like the content, I feel like it's been homogenized on, you know, you go on Instagram and then all of a sudden everyone is having the same photo shoots. You know what I mean? I'm just sorry. I just want to say,
Of course,
like when I see what you're doing, it seems like you don't give a damn about whatever's happening. You're just doing that, and that in a weird way that gives me hope.
That's how you stand out, because everyone is. I think what I realized is that like people know when they're being sold something, but if if you make them laugh, you can sell them things even more.
It seems like you're being yourself.
Yeah, and like it took me many years to find that stride. I mean, it could be argued that like my whole life I've been trying to find this voice, and I think with the rise of content, I found it, and also like growing older, you know, like it came at the right time where I was like, I think I know who I am, but I also know that like who I am is too weird not to keep it to myself. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm really strange.
I think you're very special in
Thank you.
you know, in the most best way.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole point, being an original, because we are that, you know, each one of us.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's gonna set, you know, like, cause look, let's put it this way, like a lot of people in music have talent. Do you know what I mean? But like when you sing so good, you kind of sound like other good singers. But if you're a shit singer, you definitely sound like it. You know, like if you do you know what I mean? Like if you're a shit.
So you would say that it's better to be a shit singer.
Yeah, I mean like cause you sound like yourself. Cause you know I think this is especially like with Gen Z. I think like they've not had that experience, or they've not like had the space for them to make mistakes. Whereas as millennials, like, you know, I still remember growing up playing in playgrounds and scraping my legs and, you know, trying to touch fire. Do you know what I mean? Like I would like, oh, sparkler, ooh, ow, that hurts. But like, you know, Gen Z didn't have that, so they're very hard on themselves. I feel like Gen Z, like they've grown up like not being able to make mistakes and be imperfect, because all their perception of what things should be is online, and a lot of things online are made to seem perfect.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I'm always online, but like I can navigate that space because I know what real life looked like.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so
yeah.
it seems like you found a good spot.
Yeah.
Sweet spot.
Yeah.
Like it's not getting in the way. That's really good. I have to admit that it's, you know, I will think about this conversation.
Yeah.
It's because I really was struggling. I was like, you know, because every time, I think what bothers me is that it takes me, how long does it take you to make that content or make decisions? Is this the right
Good
content?
question.
You know what I mean?
Good question. So when I'm driving to work, when I'm doing my day-to-day stuff, I think about stupid captions, you know, because like I think about ideas and I write down my notes.
And you don't think that, sorry,
Yeah.
before I forget this
Yeah.
question, but you don't think that thinking about content is actually taking away space where you could think about songs?
Not really.
Okay.
I think like, I mean, I think a lot of my content is like quite humorous, and like it's like looking at life through like, I'm just laughing at life. And like sometimes like, you know, I'll go day to day and like maybe like someone in traffic piss me off. I'll put it into my voice. So it's like, yeah, imagine like driving a BMW. Like I'll just think about jokes about BMW owners. And then that becomes my Instagram caption.
So you use voice memos?
Voice memos or like notes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
So-
use notes, but never met. Maybe I should start
Yeah.
using voice memos.
I think like thinking about content ideas and music comes in tandem because I'm listening to music. So I get inspiration from music, from listening to music and living my day-to-day life. And then my content is inspired by my day-to-day life. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be exclusive. Like I think the best content is when you reframe an everyday occurrence, something that happens to everyone. You know, like we all go to work, we all go to school, we all drive a car, and then we're kind of like, but what if cars had legs? What if we all rode horses? Do you know what I mean? What, like, you know, like how much greenhouse gases would horses create compared to cars? You know, like you know, because I'm like looking at a car right now. I'm thinking, what if that was a fucking horse? You know what I mean? Like, so there's like this like healthy level of humor, maybe a healthy cynicism towards day-to-day life that helps me think about content. You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah, there's a lot of content here where we're sitting at.
So I feel like, it just comes to me.
Yeah. Okay, but it makes sense now, you know, now that you said that, because you did say at the beginning that it's not just music exclusively that you want to create.
Yeah.
To enjoy creating content.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I think for me, the starting point is difficult because I immediately think, oh, they shouldn't go together. You know, I'm like so exclusive in a sense. Oh, I've chose music as a medium rather than videos. You know what I mean?
And like sometimes that can be very painful because the medium of promoting music is so different from making music.
Yes.
Right. You know, so
it's completely different.
yeah, it's
way of
completely
doing it.
different. You know, like music is a very vulnerable and sensitive space, and making content is a very egotistical, you know, vain space. So like, I've learned how to partition that. I mean, like I said, like I'm from Singapore. Everyone is an influencer. It's like a Dubai type shit. Like I'm like go to like any kind of like public famous landmark in Singapore, and there's like hundreds of people making TikToks in front of it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and like it's shameless. Like I just came back from Bali, and like people were just doing dances in front of temples.
Oh my God.
And like it was like, I mean, it was like hundreds of like Indonesians. It wasn't just the tourists. It was like the Indonesians were doing it too, you know. And like I don't know, no one gives a fuck.
Okay, but maybe another question is it working? Is it working?
Yeah.
Is it giving you this hustle that you have online?
Yeah.
This whole strategy. Can you qualify it? Is it like palpable?
Yeah, I mean, I made like you know my merch, right? The chopsticks.
Yeah.
I sold $500 worth of chopsticks
And
by
they're like
making
$10 a piece.
Yeah, so I sold 50 pairs of chopsticks with my online content.
Wow.
And like and with TikTok, I made a new TikTok account actually because
I remember that. So you had one TikTok account.
it wasn't.
And then you were testing some new ones.
Yeah.
and then- okay.
Yeah, so like my main one, I was stuck in like 200 view jail, and like I was just like, okay, I'm gonna make a new TikTok, and I'm not gonna add my contacts list. It's gonna be like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna tell TikTok that like I'm a new user and they should push me. So then I started posting 2 times a day on that, and I went from like 0 followers 2 months. This was after Max Watts too. So
Yes.
3 months ago, 0 followers. I'm almost at 5K followers, and whenever I make a TikTok, I use my songs. And now with TikTok, it links your song from TikTok. So you can save songs on Spotify or like Tidal or Apple through TikTok.
Oh wow.
So I've seen a direct correlation between
So your Spotify is growing.
my monthly streams, and I mean, it leads to the question as well to like the sustainability of it, because you know I have that like discipline to like batch film content. You know what I mean? And like I think a lot of artists like, well, they don't have time.
How many of your peers are doing that?
Not many.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of my peers who are doing this with music, they're not in Australia. Like I don't think this approach is popular in Australia, and that's kind of why I like about Australia, because they tend to resist things before it just becomes the norm. Content takes a lot of my energy, and some weeks I don't feel like doing it, you know.
But you also, from what I could see from your, again, social media, I know much about your life actually through social media. I saw that you've been doing like co-production. You've been doing production for other artists.
Yeah.
Or like collaborations. Is that you know something that also came from your?
Yes. So Louis Surreal, who my latest single Sunshine, he's from the Netherlands, and well, they're from the Netherlands, and like we met each other on Instagram. Yeah, we met on Instagram through, like I guess like we're both.
We met from.
Exactly.
We met over Instagram.
Exactly, and that's how I meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've actually been getting like production work. Like I can't speak a lot about it yet, but like yeah, I've got like my first few pieces of production work through Americans messaging me for beats.
Sick.
Which is crazy.
So it means that you're close to the ultimate goal, like making content for living.
Yeah. I mean, like it's cool. Like, like.
But do you, in comparison, so talking about that goal, you now have So what is the ratio between your day job and do you have a full-time job? And then you do
I work part-time hours, but because I'm an independent disability social worker, like I can pick my own hours.
Okay.
So some weeks if I need to like lock in a song, I can work 20 hours, and like I'll just tell my clients' parents, because I work with autistic kids. So I'll just tell them, hey, like I'm not gonna have these hours available, and then because of the nature of the apps they're on, Mabel and stuff, they can like find another replacement worker. I can find a replacement worker for them for the week. So if I want to, I can cut down the hours.
Okay.
So that's a really good job arrangement, but it is a really taxing job. It's it's really taxing. It's like not something I want to be in longer, but like it's pacing well, and like, you know, I'm an independent worker, so I work. So like I had to create a profile on the disability app, and people message me too. So I'm also managing my profile on the disability apps, which is cool. Like, you know, so like it makes
It's all content.
it actually, it's all content. Like my experience making content allowed me to create this like, you know, really professional looking profile for me on the disability apps. And then, you know, I approach people, the parents approach me and like be like, hey, you're in the area, you're a good fit for, let's find out if you're a good fit for my kid. And usually it's fine because like, I think like kids like me, because a lot of social workers like, or disability workers, they're like this, like, they're like Christian and they want to convert the kids to Christianity, but I don't give a fuck. I'm just here to help the kid, and like, you know, I'll talk how they want to talk to me. Do you know what I mean? I don't like be like, there's no like,
You're equals.
yeah, we're equals. I'm not like, you know, like
Patronizing them.
I'm not gonna like, yeah, like, you know, I'm there to help them. They employ me.
Yeah,
Do you know
and
what I mean?
also to perhaps inspire them. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
That you can, you know, do such things through, you know, showing them what's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I mean, a lot of them have autism and they're gamers. So, I mean, like, I play a lot. I mean, all this came from playing video games. Like, basically, the time I spend making content was the time I would be spending playing video games.
Sounds like fun, but I know it can be draining.
Hold up, that's Ashley Olsen, who's really famous on TikTok.
Really?
Yeah, that's Ashley Olsen. She, like, the chick with the tattoos.
yeah.
Like, she's really famous on TikTok.
Okay, I have to.
No.
You'll send, no.
I'll send you her profile later. But I'm such a big fan. But I just so you know, all the listeners, that I just saw Ashley Olsen in the flesh in Fitzroy. Yeah.
I have no idea who that is, but I'll.
Obviously, she's on her phone. Okay, if you want to talk about someone with content, you should talk to her, because
Okay.
she posts TikToks every 15 minutes.
What?
Yeah.
So it's pretty much like
Yeah.
a vlog of your life.
Yeah.
Like a life vlog.
Yeah, she'll like be like at Pilates and vlogging. She'll be like drinking coffee and vlogging. Like, I can't believe I just saw Ashley Olsen in real life, but like, she was
we're
she was
talking
on her
about
phone.
content all the
Yeah, she was on her phone, but like, yeah, that's Ashley Olsen.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, yeah.
So it seems like, what is you mentioned something about live shows. I'm just curious, in a sense, you know, as a musician, you think that that's just not something that's feasible anymore? Like, can you get a good fee? Do you think it's sustainable, or
Well,
the outlook for
I
you?
think this is happening all across the world.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you have stories from Croatia as well, but we just lost a really big venue in Singapore called The Projector. You know, I mean, like, we're lucky in a sense we get to have the experience of two worlds, and a lot of the same things are happening, right? Do you know what I mean? Like the loss of these spaces. And look, I really don't know where it's gonna hit. Something has to give, because something has to give, because we're losing these third spaces. Like, you know, like I remember, like, I used to go over to my friend's house and like play Xbox, but now like we just go online and talk to each other on Discord and play and play video games. I remember, like, I would go to the mall with my friend and we just walk around and not buy anything. Maybe steal some stuff from the, but, you know, but we would, you know, like, we would go to the mall and, like, you know, hang
All
out.
in the flesh.
Yeah.
A lot of it was in the flesh.
Hang out and like, I guess because my fan base is also pretty like Gen Z, so like I kind of I meet some of them, you know what I mean, and like I talk to them, and like they're all like, yeah, add me on Discord, and like, yeah, and then we just talk on Discord, and like, and it's just like, this is how they do it, and like, and then once in a while, you know, they'll throw like a house party and like, yay, it's time to get off Discord and meet people in real life. And then you just like, And like, I just talk, sometimes I go to some of their parties and it's like, how long has it been since you left the house? Like 3, 6, 5 weeks. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, it's like, they can't afford to leave the house. I mean, like, sometimes they go, you know, and then they spend all their Sandlink money on like drinks, you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, like one night out bankrupts them.
Wow.
So I think the future of live music, if I were to speak very frankly, would be a hybrid of like online and in real life stuff. I think like you kind of have to like build this online following and then hope they appear in real life. But also but there's a smart ways to go about it. If you make content that's local to your area, if you make content about you being a Melbourne artist, then obviously you attract people from Melbourne, you know? So there are ways to tailor content to that, but I think much like, you know, the stuff, you know, during the virtual concerts, you know, like during lockdown, like we're living in a digital hybrid world, and like, I mean, as much as I talk about how I like content and all that stuff, like, I mean, meeting people in real life is good. You know, that's how you learn social skills. I think that's the problem with like, not just like, yeah, like in my work, because I work with autistic kids, and you know, they're Gen Z, you know what I mean? And like, it's, they have very poor social skills. And I can relate because I grew up on the internet, you know, as a young kid, you know, like I remember like, that's how I discovered about my local scene, right? Like they would post about it on forums and, you know, bulletin boards, you know, and like I would just go to the shows because I saw them online. But that to me was still a very niche experience for some people, do you know what I mean? But now it's like, now it's the norm.
Yeah.
They discover you online and they go to your show. And then sometimes you've got the benefit of like, you know, this what I like about what Tongue Dissolver does, you know, they have such a nice, furious life experience that you have to see it live, that you can't
translate that.
You can go online and you know very little of it, which creates mystique. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I like that. I think that there is possibility in that sense.
there's possibility for everything. You just have to like work around this pesky thing called the algorithm.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, there's some days where the algorithm likes me and some days where it doesn't. So like, it's actually really concerning because there's some, what if like there was some important news? Would it, just because no one's doing a dance with, would it not get, you know, on the internet?
How
You know?
much do you think that the algorithm is, you know,
Evil.
no, maybe like, we don't have to go, you know, in more like a precise example, like how much do you think algorithm affects your music, or what do you do as content? Do you think, you know, is there a tension between what you want to create as content and what it will work?
You're right. That's a really good point, because there are some forms of music that are really unfriendly to content. Like, you know, I mean, I like a lot of experimental stuff, a lot of ambient drone, like harsh noise, and like, you know, a lot of like really heavy like GABA shit, you know what I mean? And like, I have songs like that actually, and I try making TikToks around them, and they don't work. So these songs are very like, these kind of genres are very algorithm unfriendly. So you kind of have to see them in real life. So like I said before, like you only have like 1 to 5 seconds to catch attention on these apps, and if you're making really experimental genres for music, it's not gonna work because you're gonna flip between and you're gonna scroll past. But that kind of creates like a special space for these genres in real life.
So I would say, you know, like not all your songs, let's say, not all your songs are equally successful in content-wise, but that doesn't stop you from making more of them.
Yes.
Or performing them live.
Yeah. Yes. So like that, like I think at this point in time, I only have really 4 songs that I regularly rotate on TikTok, because I've tried a lot of my songs, and I think the concern is, it's like, because some genres of music and some songs are very, you know, like content unfriendly, it might cause them to be more unpopular, you know, but like that also kind of makes them special, you know, because those genres will always exist in this space. you know, which is real life. You have to experience these things in real life. So like, it got me thinking as well, you know, like everything is just think about the pop world, you know, everything is manufactured for that 5 seconds, and there's a time and space for that.
Yeah.
You know, but like, I always feel that will always be a resistance to that, and there'll be time and space for people who want to do the opposite. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't like content on TikTok who,
Yeah, and
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there is still room for those. You know, you can create a mystique because everyone is like uncovering a lot of things online. You know, there could be an interesting moment for those artists who are not showing everything online.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, Tang Dizio.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, I guess it's good that it's not affecting you in that sense.
It's not all that bad because people always create space for the things they like, and like that's what I like about punk and metal is that like they live in their own ecosystem and they reject, you know, all these new things, sometimes for better for worse. But you know what I mean? There'll always be a space for that in the punk scene and DIY scene, hardcore scene, and you know, whichever, you know what I mean, experimental scene, you know.
And do you think that there's anything, this is not just social media wise, but like in general in your career, in your journey towards that ultimate goal?
Of like,
is that like something that's like limiting you or you know, really in the way?
Like the algorithm?
No, no, anything wise.
Obstacle?
It can be 5 things.
I think the obstacle now is that like, I think the only obstacle for me now is that like I'm not making enough vlogs, and that's where the money is at. Because I don't know if you've been looking at your YouTube feed now. It's like 20 minutes of someone talking about random shit in Bali or some shit, and it's unedited, uncolor graded. It's filmed on their phone. It's like off the cuff, and like they made their point in the first 5 minutes, but to further increase the monetization, they make it into a 20-minute video.
Netflix thing, you know, like
Yeah.
true crime documentary that goes into 4 episodes, but actually one is enough.
Yeah. So like the thing with YouTube is that like you can make your point in 5 minutes, so stretch your point over 20 minutes, and you can earn more money from it. But what's getting in between that is that like I need to make more vlogs.
Okay.
But the vlogs take a lot of work, and that takes away from making music. But like I don't mind taking a break from making music to make vlogs. So it's like this always like.
So it's all about organization, discipline, right?
Yeah, it's all like just trading that. You know what I mean? Like I'm like either way when I get home from work, like I don't like to sit and watch Netflix. I don't have Netflix. I like to be on my computer doing something. If it's either making content, making YouTube videos, or making music. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I will just switch what I'm doing that day to like whatever I want to get done, you know? Because like, yeah, as you can tell, I'm very single.
Do you think that you're now like your mom, you know, working from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.?
Yeah, absolutely. It's
And do you think it qualifies the same as her work?
It's not the same because my mom did a really highly specialized job. I feel like it's not equal because I think my mom actually did quite important work, and I'm just making stupid videos online. But I think my job, like as a disability worker, like is the meaningful work. But like I'm literally always working, and I actually fucking love working.
But that's how it should be, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not. Then that's the point where you're actually, you know, doing what you love because you spend so much time working, and often people don't even call that work.
Yeah.
You know, making music, making content.
Yeah.
So just that question of do you feel overworked? Or,
Yeah, of course.
I've talked with a lot of musicians.
All the time. Yeah. I told the first thing I said to you is that I'm really tired.
Yeah.
You know, and like I am tired. And I mean, I'm really interested to see like how I can sustain this. I mean, like the good thing is that, like I've kind of cut out the financial aspect of it. Like I mix my own songs. Like I make my own videos, and like even if someone else is filming me, I'm just paying them an hourly rate to film me. So it's like it's not that much money. Do you know what I mean? So like I've gotten to a point of self-sufficiency, which means I work more.
Yeah.
So the money aspect is negated, but then it's the time that I'm using now. So like it's kind of interesting to see how I can sustain this. But like, I mean, that's the question in everyone's mind, because like it's for a lot of musicians, it's money, right? Because get stuff mixed. If you're working with producers, you gotta pay producers. So like, I just make everything myself. Do you know what I mean? And once in a while, like I buy a beat or two, but like even then, it's like really with intent. Cause like they're like I was like, oh, this beat's fire. Like I want this sound. And it's like, you know, like so when it comes to that point, like I am honestly pretty okay with going with a route of creation that suits that point of time. Like even if it means like music has to come down for a bit and like YouTube goes up, I don't mind because I'm still making stuff.
Yeah.
Like whatever I do, I still want to make stuff. You know what I mean? So I think it's good to be flexible like that. But what I realized as well is that like, I mean, like a lot of musicians just want to make music, which I get, and so you should. Do you know what I mean? But like I realized that like, especially after like, I don't know. I think especially after being in so many bands and like not having them work out, like, you know, I realized that like I can't have all my eggs in one basket like that. I have to like, the main thing is I love creation. I love creating things like, you know, like color grading videos, editing videos, you know, like filming people, you know, taking photos of people, you know, I like
Wow.
stimulation, you know what I mean? I love like doing stuff, you know what I mean? So like, as long as I get to do something creative, like I don't mind, and I'm okay to arrange like, you know, I'm okay to arrange like my creative pursuits over that, because either way, Kai Kao is like a YouTube channel.
Oh wow, okay.
You know what I mean?
We can actually stop here.
Yeah.
No, it's like a good end. Kai Kao YouTube channel. Next time we talk, it's on YouTube.
Subscribe to Kai Kao 66 on YouTube and follow me on Instagram, Kai Kao 666, and TikTok.
Thanks for taking the time.
No worries.
Even though you're tired, I'm also tired.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
We're both tired, but I don't think it translated into the...
No one will see like the deep eye bags and like how much homework you have to grade.
I think, okay, I actually want to just ask you one last question.
Yeah.
What was the best advice you ever got? Maybe as a music maker, but it can be anything.
I think what comes naturally to you to make, what creative form that comes naturally to you, like as in like you're not spending any money of it, you don't have to pay producers, you're not paying for mixing, like whatever stuff that's easiest for you to mix to produce a single over, that's probably, or like whatever, you know, that's probably the stuff you should be doing. Do you know what I mean? And you can always change that. You can always change fate. You can always learn, you know, like delve into Ableton more, but like I feel like a lot of creatives, we're all figuring it out, do you know what I mean? And like some people, because I used to be in a progressive metal band, right? It's weird, you know? And
that's how when I saw you first.
Yeah.
When it was Chinese Dream.
Oh yeah.
You were in a band.
Yeah.
Was that?
No, that was just a garage rock band.
Oh, okay.
But like, so I thought I was gonna be a progressive rock musician. I thought like, you know, I liked. Yeah, you know.
That was the great future.
Yeah, I thought, and like, I would spend hours on guitar, like learning the other guitarists, you know, odd time signature stuff, and like 5 people come to our shows. Do you know what I mean? And like, and this thing, that genre didn't come naturally to me. I fell into those circles because they are my friends. But just because they are my friends doesn't mean, I don't really hang out with them anymore too. It's like, they also weren't really my people because they were very, pedantic with their music, and they were quite hard to work with because everything had to be perfect. And then I started like, after that, like I started playing in like punk bands and like, you know, garage rock bands and stuff, and like I love that simplicity. But obviously, because I used to play in a prog band, I still have lessons from that. So like I have this attention to detail that a lot of like my punk bandmates didn't have. Do you know what I mean? So if you hear my mixes, they're actually very clean and punchy. Whereas if you hear like punk mixes, I mean, it's just like, it's like you recorded into a cassette and you took an EQ and shaved off all the high end, all the low end, and it's just like this mid range, you know? And like, we just find this aesthetic itself, but like, so like, my life has been a journey of finding my creative flow, and I'm sure it's yours as well, do you know what I mean? And it really like came to me during lockdown as well when I lost my band. And I realized that like, hey, actually I really like making electronic music, you know? So like the first part was like, you know, like what kind of genre of metal do I like? And I realized I actually didn't really like playing metal, even though I played metal for a lot of years. And it became punk. And then punk was like the opposite. It was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's a very freeing thing where it's like low effort and like, so like through making so many low effort songs, I just slowly got better at music because I was making so many songs that were shit that like eventually like kind of became alright, you know what I mean? And then like during lockdown, like I started learning like the DAW a lot and like.
Are you using Ableton? What's your favorite?
I'm using Reaper right now.
Oh.
Reaper, but like.
Yeah, makes sense.
You know what I mean? But so that's my advice. Like you'll be surprised at like maybe the thing you're looking for is something that you don't really want to be, but if it comes to you so naturally, like maybe lean into it, you know, because.
But I also think that's a good point because, you know, we actually started talking about it at the beginning, how, you know, you actually have to experiment.
Yeah.
So you have to go into the unknown to actually find your creative, what's your language, right?
Yeah.
You can't, you don't know that until you try it.
Yeah.
And I think even I'm lately doing, you know, just trying out different things, different sounds. And yeah, some of it is shit, some of it's good. Eventually, I think it's going to level up as long as you continue doing it.
Yeah, just.
It's going to be sort of, I think it filters out like friends.
Yeah.
You know, you have to make bad friends sometimes.
Friends are the perfect example. Yeah, I think like it's a hard thing to do, right? Because everyone, you know, you see these people on the internet or like you see these bands or artists doing these things and you want to be like them. But then you can't be like them because you didn't grow up like them. You didn't, whatever, you know, education they had. Maybe, you know, they had so much singing lessons as a kid. Like I got singing lessons like 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Before that, I was just doing punk yelling, you know, and screaming and stuff. And yeah, and like I realized that like, and what my singing teacher pulled out of me is that I actually have a really pop edge to me that I hid because I was around so many metal people.
Yeah.
I was afraid to be fun. So now you see that I'm.
To have a good melody.
Yeah.
You know? Like, what's wrong with a good pop melody or R&B melody?
Exactly.
And we especially, I think, I've talked to, you know, because I grew up in a punk environment, and it was also like, oh, you know, songs can't be beautiful, you know, it needs to be like, rah, you know, like pure energy, which is great, right? But it's also interesting how only now, recently, have I been just like enjoying some great pop.
Oh, I love that shit.
I'm like, whoa.
I love that
you know,
shit.
when you wake up and you're just singing that song because it's an insanely great, well-written song.
And most of the time the melodies are very simple.
It's always.
They're very simple. They take one. It's like 3 words and they stretch it over like, you know, like, you know.
Yeah, it's always a hill, but yeah.
And I think that was part of my maturation process as a creative. Was like, less is more. That's a balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's a balance.
I think it comes down to what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, like, what's the ultimate goal? Do you want to be a superstar? Do you want to be content creator? Do you want to just get money out of it, like in a sense that this is sustainable financial wise, or you know, you just want to do it for yourself? You know, I have so many friends.
There's so many ways music can exist. Yeah, exactly.
You know, they're a great music maker, but they never finish a song, or they're never, you know what I mean? So it's just a question of like what they actually want to do. Some people just enjoy the process, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I come, you know, because I come from such a technical group of musicians. None of them release anything because it's never good enough. So.
Yeah.
And so when I was in the band, it was even worse. So I wasted like 18 months of my life, like writing the most complex music for it not to be released. So to rebel against that, I just made shit punk music, and that did way better. And you know what? I'm not afraid to be shit. Like I'll be shit for as long as I need to be good. You know what I mean? I don't care. That's life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the shittiest thing is the thing that you've never released.
Yeah, and like I remember like all my first jobs, like. I'm still terrible at them. I don't care. I'll keep trying. So don't be afraid to be shit and love yourself, baby.
Peace out.
Yeah, peace out. Peace out, man. Peace and love.
Thank you.
No worries.
Hey, this is Lucia aka Živa, creator and host of Serial Music Talks podcast. Each month I sit down with musicians, music producers and sound designers based in Melbourne to to talk about the real challenges we face in the industry, whether it's breaking into new markets, battling imposter syndrome, overcoming writer's block, or just navigating the cruel world of social media. I approach these conversations as an artist myself, and like most of us, I'm also just trying to figure it all out on the go. A new episode drops every last Tuesday of the month, so if you want to stay connected, you can subscribe to my newsletter via Substack. Just find the link somewhere below, above.